Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristin and I'm here with day 19 of May I Scraplift You. And today we are scraplifting Debbi Tehrani, maybe is how you say it, but that was her Instagram and it will be linked below. And I love this layout, it's so fun. And I picked it to scrapbook this picture of me and my friend. This picture is only a few hours old. My friend is from Spain, henceforth part of why I chose Obed Marshall's Buenos Dias collection. Also, there's lots of ephemera and bits and pieces in here that go perfectly with this. There will be 3 or 4 layouts that go with this adventure today, and so I figured this was the best one to use for that. So I have the project pad, I've got the chipboard, I've got loose papers, the 6x8 paper pad, which is pretty slim to nothing, some scraps, stickers, embellishments. I've got puffies, I've got lots of stuff, and I've been using it, I promise. So hopefully I can get some more of this used up today. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my fabulous picture, this gorgeous layout. So let's see how this goes. Okay, first things first, I picked my background paper and you can kind of see it back there. It's like a minty color. And now why I'm making this complicated, I don't know. I want to have these as my little strips across the top and bottom, but I want it to be mostly a full strip. So I go ahead and cut this in between the white lines. I am, however, going to change things up a little bit when I get them on the layout, but that comes later. So I just set that aside and I want to start building that big space in the middle because I need to know where my inking is going to go. So I've picked these 2 papers, came from the 6x8 paper pad. I cut them down to 6x6 and I inked them with black soot all around, a little heavier in the corners, which is my favorite way. And now I am getting them laid down to where they are pretty even and getting those attached. And then I decided I wanted that back piece matted because hers looks like it's got a second mat to it. So I cut the same paper that I did the strips out of. I cut a 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. I ink and distress and ink that. And then I'm going to lay it down so that back one is matted and has a little bit of some dimension from the distressing. So I get that down, and as you can see, she's got those gorgeous butterflies. What collection is this, you all? I mean, it's just beautiful. I probably need to go back to her Instagram where I pulled this. It may actually say on there. Good gravy. So instead of those beautiful butterflies, I'm going to use these florals that you see on the right to make that diagonal embellishment cluster back and forth. Now, the butterflies are stunning. They would have worked for this layout, but there are not butterflies in the Obed Marshall collection, or at least this one. But this one worked out for me in other ways, so I pulled one of the stencils that actually is from this collection as well. And I already had some prized ribbon on my little blending brush. So I just used what was on there. I didn't get any extra ink right yet and put it down in a couple of different places. And so then I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit more because I do want some dimension. You can tell in her layout that there's a little bit darker in places and a little lighter in others. So I pretty much kind of do that as well. And I keep using what that I have built already and laying it back down to make sure that I'm going to have that peeking out around the points that are on the sides and the top and bottom. And I do end up putting those darker blue florals right there at the, well, right now it's on the sides, but when the layout is laying the way it's supposed to, it will be on the top and bottom. And right now it looks kind of weird, to be 100% honest. So, but it's not now. See, I think that it looks better now. And I considered adding those same little florals to the corners of the right and left side, but I am going to be building some stuff kind of going obviously diagonally. So I decided against it. So I am now going to start embellishing. This was a full circle that I just tucked into that top left corner, and it says, now I can't remember, Alegra, in Spanish. I think I only put Spanish on here because, like I said, or maybe I haven't said, my friend is from Spain. She works at the Spanish immersion school here in town where I used to work. I love her dearly, and her and some of my other absolutely favoritist people were performing at the park today, and she sent me a message yesterday and invited me, and I was so excited. So I went and drug my poor child down there, and we listened to them and danced and sang along to some of the songs I knew. It's her and a group of other people from the school that I used to work at, and so it was lovely to see a bunch of people that I know, which is part of why I wanted to use this collection, because like the sticker I just pulled off of my acetate is like a radio, and so I figured I'd tuck that in here because obviously that's fitting because they were playing and singing music. She is multi-talented. I just adore her. And so I just added, all the flowers that I could find. Well, not all of them. There's a few left over that I did not use, but for the most part, I pulled as many flowers as I could. And then I pulled all these different stars, and I'm going to use those for my little clusters of 3. But right now, I am still tucking in flowers just to kind of bring out the diagonal. I want it to stay mostly in that strip down, but I also want some things to kind of fill this little gap here up at the top and then the gap down towards the bottom. So I have these stars, and I'm going to put 3 here and 3 up in the top left part, and then I think the other ones, I add to the lower left underneath the title. So my title, it says Incredible Moments in Spanish, and I refuse to butcher it because I love my Spanish speaking friends, and I have such a hard time with that. So I just shared with you Debbie's layout again. Here is the close-up of mine. I can say familia. That is easy enough for me. I have no clue. And that orange label says surprise in Spanish. So it wasn't really a huge surprise that I was there because she did invite me, but it was a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I had such a great time. And I love how this layout turned out. So I hope that you all will come back and see me again. All of the information for the people we have been scrap lifting this month are below, as well as the playlist. I hope you'll come back again and see me tomorrow. Have a great day and happy scrapping.